expectations that would be the response when he mounted the stage at Global Citizens. I mean, that event was so good, so well produced, so good to watch. I mean, I don't go to these live events. I miss them all. But for some reason, I got talked into this one. And I'm so glad I went. Was having such a good time. But the moment when the president went on stage, I wasn't actually watching the show. I was talking to some people. So when the cheers started, the claps and the jeers started, I didn't realize that it was the president that they were responding to. And after the event, he came back to the VIP area, which is also rare because normally after he gives his speech, he goes away. He came back and I realized that there was a bit of heaviness around the team, you know, when they came back and sat down. And I went and had a conversation with them after that. It didn't come up. It was later that I saw on social media the reaction that the crowd had to him, which is strange. Well, it's not strange. I suppose it's ironic because this event only came to Ghana because of the president. He went to South Africa for the last one, I think, or the one before it, and expressed his desire to host it in Ghana. That's how it came to Ghana, which is why I'm sure he felt like, you know, an important stakeholder and wanted to be there, not just to speak, but he stayed for the whole event until Usher's performance ended before he left. But the people felt like, we don't want to see your face, you know? And it's an echoing of a sentiment that is growing and growing and growing. It started with the Ghana card and the jokes people were making on social media about the Ghana card. So right now, look, the way people are feeling, they don't want you to come and tell them what you have done well. They are not interested. They want to know what you are doing to solve their problems. So when you come and you are touting any good thing you've done or praising yourself for anything that you think is going well, it will turn into a negative in the minds of the people because they are not interested. That reaction was shocking. It was shocking. And I could see on the faces of those who were there that was not what they expected. The president was even suggesting to us in local, I watched the video later, he was saying in local language to the crowd that, oh, Charlie, the whole world has come here, you know, hoping that we would have shown a bit more of a
unity.
Yeah. They didn't happen.
I'm not sure that I'm the only person who's had this feeling that perhaps the people around the president don't communicate to him what it is on the ground, or perhaps he himself has been in denial. This is what you get.
Or he chooses what he wants to hear.
Exactly. This is, and that's why I don't see this as negative, because this is the sentiment all over, and they just decided to deliver it to him because he was there. Because you don't see the president every day.
If FM would have said that we are engineering something.
Or they would say serial callers, or they would say opposition. These are other political parties and not our people. And the people who were at the Black Star Square, those who are at the Black Star Square, young people, perhaps people who don't necessarily even follow the party politics the way it is done. This was a concept. They didn't perhaps even think that the president was going to be there. So you couldn't say that, oh, some political party infiltrated the crowd and they decided to this is it. And I hope that he would receive it positively and change things, because it's not too late for you to change the conversation. I mean, things are hard. You hear it on radio. You hear us talk because, first of all, we're citizens. We're family people. And so we know it. But granted, we're journalists, so you may not always want to take what we say on air. But that's how the people feel. That's the feeling of the people. And so, Mr. President, now that you've seen it, you've tasted it, it is bitter, but you've got to change things real quick.
I understand the concept really is about promoting the SDGs, and it's important. Our plan is to make sure that there is nobody on this continent or in the world who is poor. So no poverty, quality education, improved healthcare. I mean, the elements of the SDGs, which even though people are difficult to use the structure, it's the general idea is good. So promoting it wherever and whenever, with whichever concept, whichever means is powerful. And our president is one of the ambassadors. I mean, for yes.
Is it women related equality?
Yeah, the gender equality part.
Exactly.
Yes. So I mean, he has status to be there. He has reason to participate in such a concert. So I would want to believe that is one of the reasons why he would sit through a concert like that. But I think there are spillovers from other engagements. See, I've been talking about how in this country, the avenues for political participation and inclusion are very limited. So you see that you are within the political party rank, or you are so influential that people have to hear you, or Mahavi and Co will give you a platform to talk about it, or you are so influential on social media that your voice becomes heard immediately. But many people are left out. District assemblies are not speaking to the people. The MPs are not speaking to the people. So sometimes it's difficult for others to participate. And when they get the opportunity, they send a message clear through demonstrations, through protests, through other means to let you know that there's something really happening in the country you should turn your attention to. Sometimes the leader of the country feels and acts like we are fine. So his recent promise, his recent promise to people that I'll build this, I'll do that. When you know we don't have the fiscal space for it. And the consistent calls on him to address the nation in the COVID-like engagement about the difficulties people are facing and how best we can deal with it. The call for him to cut down. It appears there's a huge Chinese wall between the people who voted him into office and the man who's running the office. So he's seen a different part of the wall, which is very nice and all of that. And we are on the other side. So this maybe, if nobody close to him, if they don't go to tell him that, oh, these are NDC boys, they don't like you, and dismiss it. But it is so important that if ordinary party goers most predominantly, because ideally the political party people, they would have been somewhere else. They would have, after listening to news and doing some other things, this is not where they will turn their attention to. I am just praying that the president takes a cue from this. And government in general, somebody will say, let's turn things around. Let's do something small to show that we are committed to a proper path.
Look, one of the things I agree with the vice president the most is his last lecture in council. He said the reality is that the state of the economy is what you feel in your pocket. And if what you feel in your pocket is so bad that you know it is bad, and yet that man you voted for to turn things around keeps telling you that I did not cause any problems you're going through. In fact, all the problems you're going through, but for COVID and Ukraine, and but for the financial sector cleanup, which the NDC caused, and the energy sector debt, which the NDC also caused, it would not have been in any problem at all. When you do that over a long period of time, the people will get angry with you. And you see, our reality is that you can play all the propaganda you want, but what really matters is how your people feel. You can pretend everything is working, but when it matters the most, your people are going to tell you that the economy is that bad. And you see what happened to the president on Saturday? Yes. Because over the period, the president has been tickling himself and laughing that the economy is good. From 2017 to 2019, we're growing at an average of 7%. But for COVID-19 and even COVID-19, the Ghanaian economy, please, and please. Look, play all the propaganda. Play all the propaganda you need. You see the reality. The reality is that the people are angry.
They will expose
the
you.
reality is that the people feel it. The reality is that you are pretending not to know what is happening in this country, and you are saying things that make you happy. Let me just say this. Now that the president has seen this, the president must begin to think about how to bring about some confidence in the Ghanaian economy. And in bringing about confidence, you ask yourself, what is it that I must do? The president should not be pretending that he does not see that his appointees have failed. We voted for you at least. So you have a 4-year term. Your appointees have failed. Begin to do something that would bring about confidence. Don't stop going about and telling people that you were doing so well, you're doing so well, when the people are
calling them outstanding.
Outstanding, when people are complaining.
The first step is that he must acknowledge what he has been told. He must acknowledge what he has heard. When I spoke to him and his family, for about 10 minutes we engaged. And one of the things he said that I'll never forget, he said that the media does not choose governments. It's the people. Well, Mr. President, you've just met the people. You just heard what the people are saying to